Good day, everyone. I am here to present our study titled Experimenting on Natural Acid Base Indicators, a home based chemistry activity during the COVID 19 pandemic as evaluated by teachers. This published paper was crafted with the cooperation of Mr. Fernandez, Mr. Abgao, Miss Sarona, Miss Asenjo, Miss Giroy, Miss Uponda, and Miss Vale, my students from the MEd program of chemistry in UP Cebu. I am Dr. Jojomar P. Sanchez from the College of Teacher Education of Cebu Normal University presenting. Chemistry plays an important role in developing the process skills of the students, particularly during laboratory experimentation. However, the conduct of these experiments has become difficult due to the limitations caused by the COVID 19 pandemic. Despite the limitations, teachers continually find ways how to integrate implementation of experimentation remotely. In fact, some teachers perform the experiments as demonstrations, while others hold virtual laboratory activities that may provide a disadvantage for those in the modular modality. To not totally discount experimentation for any mode of learning, home based laboratory experiments may be conducted. Hence, the conduct of an experiment utilizing plants found at home or the community can be a feasible activity to be done at home. With this, the present study investigated the feasibility of conducting a laboratory activity on cassava leaves, piti-piti flowers, and tomato fruits as natural acid base indicators to be done at home. Specifically, it determined number one, the level of feasibility of the experiment. Number two, the accuracy of the teacher's answers as to color changes and pH values compared to the standard values. And lastly, number three, the challenges, opportunities, and implications for remote learning. These specific objectives were answered using two methods or parts of the methods: the home based experiment and the data gathering procedure. In the home based experiment, there is a preparation of the standard solutions following the procedures of MAPA et al. 1997. Then, the preparation of the natural indicators followed: 10 pieces of cassava leaves, 13 pieces of piti-piti flowers, and 3 pieces of cherry tomatoes were each finely cut and blended with 6 ml water, and the resulting solution were then transferred to reagent bottles for testing later. Okay, after this, the indicators were tested. Each indicator was added to the standard solution to get the color changes across the pH spectrum, as well as to common household substances in order to get the pH to determine its effectiveness. Afterwards, data gathering commenced. 7 teachers from Cebu performed the experiment. These teachers evaluated the experiment using validated survey Likert scale questionnaire. Also, unstructured interviews were conducted. The data gathered were then analyzed using descriptive statistics, as well as the Braun and Clark's thematic analysis. Results showed the feasibility and satisfaction towards the experiment. Independent learning aspect made the experiment very feasible, as teachers believed that students can still exercise independent learning while they learn through the experiment by themselves. Resource availability and safety considerations contribute to the feasibility of the experiment because teachers believe that resources in the experiment are often found at home and the safety concerns are also addressed. However, adult supervision contributed fairly to the feasibility of the experiment because students still need the guidance of the adult to do the certain steps in the procedures in the perspective of the teachers. Lastly, the experiment was rated very satisfactorily because teachers believe that it can deliver good learning experience even if students are only at home. The accuracy of the teacher's answers were also analyzed. Based on the table, the cassava leaf indicator had color changes along the shades of green. Piti-piti flower indicators had varied color changes across pH levels. And lastly, tomato indicator had color changes in the yellow shades. The commercial indicators 4, 5, 6 are visualized for comparison. The results signify that color changes occurred when the indicator was mixed with the acid or base, as the plant extracts used in the experiment have pigments such as chlorophyll A and B, anthocyanins, and carotenoids. Other pigments and the basic preparation may have caused some inconsistencies of the color changes, particularly in pH 13. The three indicators were used to determine the pH of some common household substances. As reflected in the table, tomato indicator showed 100% accuracy when compared to the pH standard, while cassava and piti-piti indicators showed 83% and 67% accuracy, respectively. Indicators with less color changes exhibit better pH indicator. Tomato indicator only show color changes along the yellow shades. The researchers also interviewed the teachers to determine the opportunities and the challenges of the experiment as well as the implications derived from the study itself. Okay, based on the interview results, the following opportunities were derived, namely improved learning, skills application, and values development. The transcript also showed challenges concerning the home-based experiment. Okay, and these challenges are unavailability of materials, safety concerns, time allotment, and process-related issues. Overall, the at-home experiment has implications to remote teaching. These implications are summarized into four. Number one, formulate house-based activity that targets important competencies. Number two, use common household materials and provide alternatives when available. Number three, strengthen home-school collaboration. And lastly, use safe materials and conduct the experiment with utmost safety. In conclusion, the home-based laboratory experiment on natural-based indicators is feasible to be conducted by students as evaluated by teachers. However, accuracy of the results may be compromised due to the different context of conducting the at-home experiment. Nevertheless, the activity can still give opportunities for improved learning, skills development, values integration, and satisfaction to the students. As a recommendation, the home-based experiment needs to be enhanced to incorporate the errors and other factors that have affected the inconsistency of the results to the published data. Also, it is highly suggested that teachers always consider resource availability, adult supervision, and safety concerns, as well as homeschool collaboration when planning, implementing, and assessing home-based experiments. You may read the full paper at the chemical website. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day, everyone.